This is me after I got my SPM result, the Malaysian sort of like GCSE college entry exam. And honestly, I feel like it's the end of my world when my heart literally skips a beat dying from overthinking.
There is nothing. There is nothing. There is absolutely nothing.
And after I checked my results online, I felt a significant relief and of course I died of excitement. I didn't have much more of a goal back then. I just kind of studied. And I was the kind of student who didn't study much back then, but still managed to get quite a good result. So I never bothered to do extra work because I would get an A anyway. And then I go back home and realize that my life didn't just significantly change after announcing to my dad about my straight A. It was like the happiness was not there anymore. It's more than just an instant feeling of accomplishment, except that you work hard for this achievement. And that's probably what achieving goals actually looks like. You just move straight on to the next goal. Even though you currently don't have a clue about what the next big thing is about, your mind will automatically shift its focus onto it. So I conclude that there's no point in getting straight A. Wait, bro, let me explain. Life isn't merely just about which letter A or B on your paper, you can get straight A in your early years if you don't fuck it up, but if you didn't keep up the momentum, you're gonna lose your straight A. If your life is an exam, the overall result will not always be an A. So found a quote here. In school you were given a lesson, then a test. In life you were given a test, then a lesson. And what happens when you have learned a lesson? Well, you are given another test, and then a lesson. And on and on and on and on. It keeps going forever until you die. So for me, before 16, school was everything in my life. I was told that the only competition that I need to excel is school. I was told that the only place I could get success and happiness is school, which is a complete bullshit. And then I grew up, I realized it was not like that. I first time in my life realized that I could be going into a completely different life path than what my overweight female teachers in the school tell me. No offense, just for comedic effect. So I have told you how I basically didn't study and still perform better than my classmates. Oh, I didn't tell you that? Okay, yeah. So I got better grades than all those try-hard students in my class. At least 90% of them. To show you how try-hard they are, here's one example from my friend. So she wakes up in the morning, go to school, go back home, quickly finish her lunch, go to the tuition class, go back home, do the homework, sleep, repeat. So I remember I went to her house once, and you know what I saw? Books and papers, literally like books and papers, all piled up and stacked on top of each other. Like in the entire room, there's only a narrow corridor that I can barely fit in between those books and racks and shits. And I was like, how could you study in this kind of environment? Compared to mine, where I only have laptop, I only have the stationery, and I have papers on my walls. Yeah, just that. And yeah, there's notebooks that I didn't really give a fuck about. And there's a whiteboard on her wall too that listed out every subject she took, and with a big A beside it indicating her goal. But guess what? She only get 6 A of the 10 subjects. And then I sat and thought about this for a while, about like, how could she perform worse than me? And then I realized something that I was utterly grateful about.
没有了。
So if you're an Asian, your parents probably send you to tuition class. So I'm just gonna be brutally honest in this case, right? And being the tuition class was just about a bunch of teachers monetizing from those kids who didn't like to study at all and make them barely pass the exam. Because in my friend's case, straight A was not even her goal, by the way. It's her teacher telling her, you should be getting this kind of grades to remain at your status quo. Alright, guess I'll study 12 hours a day. She used to be the top 3 students in my class and I was not. But in the final exam, she flopped and I didn't. So I conclude that she isn't studying for herself. I am. Of course, there's several reasons she flops, maybe like mental health issue. But I'm so grateful that my parents didn't just send me to a random tuition class and pay a few hundred a month just for me to have mental breakdown and burning out studying. When it comes to grades, my parents aren't like the typical Asian parents who will send you to Jesus for a B. They believe in me, so should I, and I mustn't make them down.
说真的，你好像来怎么探险这样的。因为我们都没有什么机会拍的，所以里面也是一样。我怕阿拉会想你。
And yeah, I talk about mental health, right? A lot of classmates of mine didn't even reach the average level of the stability of their emotions because of toxic relationships. You will probably feel this if you are traumatized by the world. Okay, this is happening like 1 week before the exam start, alright? One of my female friends is busy taking responsibility over her little boyfriend's emotional problem. One of my male friends is simping for a girl who he didn't even have a clue about whether she is the one for him. They think they are solving relationship problems for experience. They are like, once I've solved it, I'm a relationship expert. But in the real life, they are just fucked. Hey, if you happen to be watching this, you know, alright? School is just a machine producing manpower and woman power. And school is a game that I was forced into, like it's literally illegal to not go to school. But I might as well win this game with as least amount of effort as possible. Students didn't realize that there's another life path other than studying 12 hours for a degree that pays you a certain amount of money every month. So I'm not saying that was easy. So in conclusion, if you can get good at something you hate, imagine how great you will be in something you love. And that's an Alex Hormozy quote again. Yeah, he keeps giving these quotes full of insights and values. And that quote basically relates to 90% of those students out there. Wait a second. My certificate is merely a paper with random ink mark on it. For me, the achievement is not on the paper. It's inside my head. And I see you in the next video. Peace out, bro.
拍 vlog 啊你，上镜一下。哇。